I can't do a get ready with me until I put some lip gloss on. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a story time of the worst birthday that I've ever experienced. So I'm 28 now. My birthday was July 16th, last week on Friday, and every day was a situation. But before I get into that, let me put on some lip gloss. So the lip gloss that I'm going to be using for this video is Suck It Up lip gloss in Spin the Night Glitz. And for lashes, I am wearing Suck It Up lashes in the style Single, because that's what I am. Single. I might be ready to mingle, but yeah. Anyways, let's get on to the story. So everything started on the day of my birthday. I had a reservation at STK Rooftop Lounge for 7:15, but I ended up going at the last reservation, which was like 10:30, because my sister and my cousin still needed time to get ready. So I was like, all right, fine. At first, I was already like, all right, I ain't going then. And I don't know if I can modify it. So when I tried to modify it myself, the later time was 10 something. I'm already hungry, but we just ended up doing a reservation for 10:30. It all worked out. So what also upset me was my dress. So I tried on my dress. My dress didn't fit. My dress was too big on me. So I'll put a picture of how I looked on the dress, and maybe I'll probably show maybe a comparison picture and everything. But it just wasn't fitting right on me, and it wasn't complimenting my figure. I don't even have a figure anyway. So that just made me feel worse about myself in terms of like my body, because I have body dysmorphia and I always obsess over my body, and I've been really obsessing over my body for the past couple years or so. I think that I'm too skinny. I think that I'm anorexic, or I have some type of eating disorder, because for some time now there has been a point in time where I haven't eaten because I just couldn't. I would try to eat, and when I would try to eat, I would gag or I would want to throw up. But anyway, so I asked if they had safety pins. So they bought safety pins for me, and they pinned me up at when we got to the place. We got to the place a little bit early than our reservation time. So to kill time, we had some drinks at the bar, and we took some pictures outside of the place. So before we took pictures, or even during we was taking pictures, I had like a wardrobe modification, and during that time, as my bra is getting stripped off, as I'm getting pinned up and everything, I'm crying on the inside, because I just felt so anorexic and I felt so ugly, because I'm looking at my sister, I'm looking at my cousin. They have these curvaceous bodies, and I look like this, and that really hurts me, because it's just like, damn, like I just look at myself as ugly. Other people look at me as an attractive person, but I don't feel that way on the inside. But they didn't shame me. They knew that I was already, feeling down and everything. So they tried their best to, lift my spirits up, which they did. So I'm really thankful for that. The food was good. I would say the entrees were better than the sides. I had salmon with lobster mac and cheese. The lobster mac and cheese was bland. But that was my Friday. Saturday was worse. I was supposed to go to the Breakfast Club in Rockville Center for brunch with my cousin, his girlfriend, as well as a few of my friends at 11 a.m. Niggas didn't get there until after 12 p.m. So on Saturday, I texted my cousin early and I said, hey, pick me up at 10:15. He said, all right, cool. So I'm ready. The only thing that I have to do is put on my dress, and then I just wait for him to come and tell me that he's downstairs, and I'll go downstairs. But no, my dress didn't fit at all. And also, my cousins didn't even get to my house until after 11. Mind you, my cupcakes and chocolate covered strawberries was being delivered by my coworker to the place, and he was already there by 11. So I just had to tell him to just drop it off at the place for me because I just wasn't there yet. I was still at home, so that really pissed me off. I was crying because my dress didn't fit and I felt even more ugly. So my cousin and his girlfriend finally show up, and his girlfriend is struggling to pin me up. Once we finally pin it up to some degree for it to fit me, I still had to put on her lashes now. So that also got me upset too, because it's just like, so you came to my house to get ready or something when you could have gotten ready before y'all got me. But whatever. I'm struggling to put this girl's lashes on. My hands are shaking because I am crying. I've been crying. Both my cousin and my cousin's girlfriend are asking me like, what's wrong? And I'm just like, my dress don't fit. I'm ugly. I'm this and I'm that and everything. But I didn't really get into detail or whatever. But we finally get to the place. My friends got there before us. When we got to the place, it was an hour wait to get seated, so we went to a bar across the street. It was more lit over there. We had good drinks, we had birthday shots, and then after that, we went to the Breakfast Club, and we had our food, had more drinks over there. Good company, good vibes, good conversation all around and everything. After brunch, we took pictures outside, and then we went home. I didn't want to do anything after that because I was just, going through it, and I was telling my friends throughout the morning, like, this is what's happening right now. I'm feeling upset and everything. They didn't shame me either, thank God, which I knew they wouldn't. So they made me feel really good. So I'm really thankful about that. My cousin bought us cigars, but that shit didn't work out because we forgot to ask the store clerk to cut it. So I tried to cut it at my house with a scissor, and it didn't work out, and I couldn't smoke my cigar because then it would start to unravel. What else happened? So that was that. I ended up going home, and also my drink spilled on me in my cousin's car going home because I took Bellini with me home because we have Bellinis there, like an 88 ounce. So I took the rest of it with me in a little pouch. So yeah. So that was that for Saturday. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out. But Sunday took the cake of the disastrous 28th birthday weekend. So Sunday morning, I wake up to get to the mall when it opened. I got to Queen Center Mall at 11:30. So I drove most of the way, and I was in the Forest Hills area, and I took the train to Queen Center Mall, which was only a couple stops where I was at. So I went to go get my birthday outfit for that Sunday night because my dad was gonna be taking me out. So we was gonna go to a Latin restaurant on Queens Boulevard on Austin Street. So I do what I have to do, and I go back to where my car was, or where I thought the car was, and the car wasn't there. So I'm bugging out, and I'm looking at the signs, and I'm like, I could have swore that the sign said except Sunday. And I see a sign that says except Saturday for unloading trucks. Normally when I park anywhere, I will write out where I parked, but this time I didn't because I was rushing. I couldn't even go see my grandma that day because I'm thinking the car is towed. So I called my dad and let him know that the car was towed, and he's already upset about that. And what made it worse was that my house keys was in the car too, so I was unable to get inside my house. And also I had my dog up there too. So I take the train back home, and I deposit money into my bank account because I didn't have a lot of money on my card. I barely had any money at all to begin with. So I scheduled my dad an Uber for 4:05. The Uber driver and I are communicating and everything. He tells me that he's there. I let him know that he's picking up my dad. He says okay. That ride never happened. I get an email stating, oh, sorry that your ride was cut short. I'm like, what the fuck? So my dad calls me too, is like, where's the Uber? I don't see it. And I'm like, well, I just got an email saying that the ride was cut short. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't have any money on my card now at this point. to take this nigga home. So I had to use my grandma's credit card. Good thing I had her information. So I do that. But as I'm putting in her information, my dad is calling me, like, rushing me to get an Uber because he's waiting outside. I'm like, you can go back in your fucking job, if anything. So I'm already telling him, like, you're gonna have to wait because I'm trying to put in a different car payment information. So I get him another Uber. My stepsister texts me and says, oh, I'm gonna pick y'all up and we'll go to the restaurant, because I know that my dad was gonna go all the way to Brooklyn, to go all the way back to Queens, to go all the way back to Brooklyn if he had his car, which is stupid to me, but whatever, it ain't my car. So I get ready for this stupid dinner, and I didn't want to go to dinner, but I already bought the outfit, and also I doubt that my dad want to stay home, so we go to the place. And when we parked a little bit from the restaurant, so I'm walking ahead of them. But it's not like that I walked all the way to the restaurant, I left them behind. Every intersection that we passed, I would wait until they came closer and I would keep up with walking. We get to the restaurant. I tell the host how many people are going to be seated. My dad slowly approached me and was like, you owe your stepsister and your stepmom an apology because what you did was rude. You don't need to take your emotions out on us, and that's immature of you. And I said, I'm upset right now, and I'm walking ahead of y'all just for me to get myself together. But it's not like that I walked all the way to the restaurant and left y'all back at the car. I would wait for y'all to come closer until I started to walk back again. So he keep picking at me. And then I tell him, all right, I'm starting to get upset now. And he's like, it's okay to be upset. And then I don't know if he said that I should have left my emotions at home or that I should have stayed home, but I responded and maybe I should have just stayed home. And then he just kept going and going, like nitpicking at me. And then what also started to, and I started to get anxiety and I started to get even more upset, especially when I told him that I'm getting upset again. But he just still kept chatting and lecturing me. And then the host and certain other staff are looking at us now. So now I'm getting embarrassed. And then I start to become overwhelmed. And then I leave because I started crying now. At this point, I'm crying. So I leave the restaurant. And then that's when I text my stepsister and my stepmom, let them know what's up. Finally, we get seated. I wasn't really a part of this whole dinner because everyone was speaking Creole. And I don't speak Creole, nor do I understand most of it. So yeah, that was that. I'm already like anxious. So the next day happens and it's time to get the car, or I don't know. So I already called the towing company since that Sunday, but they were closed and everything. I called 311, 911, whoever, and I'll get the automatic operator saying the compound isn't open until Monday. It's closed on Sunday. So on that Monday morning, I call the compound. The car not there. I look up on the DMV. The car was never towed. I'm like, where the fuck is it? So my dad's like, oh, it's stolen. So again, he's a weirdo. He is in front of my bedroom door, standing there. I'm like, are you going to knock on the door or what? Because I know that you're being a weirdo. So he knocking on the door and he's like, let's go, we gotta go see if the car was really stolen or not. And I was like, but before that, he was like, did you call the towing place? I was like, yeah, it's not there. So he's like, all right, it's stolen. And he's like, you gotta report it stolen. And so when I called 911 to report a car stolen, I was told that you have to go to the site where the car was stolen and then call the police for them to arrive on the scene. So he just starts scolding me and pestering me, so I'm crying again. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and retrace my steps. I was gonna do that either way, but he wanted to come too. So I wanted to go bathe before I, started my journey. He was like, why are you bathing for? And I'm like, because I feel disgusting. He's like, oh no, don't bathe. I'm like, but I feel disgusting. I still a Brady bath. So we go to we're walking on Queens Boulevard after we take a couple buses for retracing my steps. We find the car. So I got mixed up with where I parked. So he asked me if I was smoking. I said no, I wasn't smoking this time. So we end up getting home eventually, and as we're walking to the house, he approaches me and says, "You owe your stepmom and your stepsister apology." I'm like, we're starting with this shit again? And I tell him I already did apologize to them. And I know he was feeling stupid because I did apologize, but he didn't know that. And he was like, well, just in case you didn't. I'm like, well, I did. And he was like, well, that was embarrassing. I thought I raised you better. And in my head, I was like, you never raised me, but okay. And he was just still talking or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm too reckless. I'm too careless. I'm a druggie. I'm this and I'm that. And then he want to act like he's shocked about what I'm saying. And I'm just like, I don't know why you're acting shocked, because this is what you say to me on a regular basis. You haven't spoken to me this way in a while because I haven't done anything for you to say all those things about me. So yeah. So after that, I just went into my room and I stayed there and I didn't come out until he knocked on the door. Was like, are you gonna walk Osiris? And I'm just like, dale. Like, feme beku, macabon. Like, anunye. Like, leave me the fuck alone now. But that was that. But yeah, that was basically my story time for the worst 28th birthday ever. So, for me, it was the worst. Emotionally and mentally. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and to tell your friends. Bye.